to a channel update for October and November 2024. It's the 19th of September 2024 and the opening sequence was filmed back in the summer on a day somewhat less nice than today. Here being the Oare Marshes Nature Reserve near to Faversham in Kent. The point I was just standing at experiences something quite interesting at a very high tide, which is due in about an hour's time. I've been trying unsuccessfully to film it for several years now. But if it happens today, you'll probably see it in an episode in about 6 months' time. Being late summer, early autumn, this would be the time of year when I would normally go on a long trip. However, this year I don't think that'll be happening. There's something else on the horizon. With a planned release date for this channel update of late October, I may or may not be able to tell you about it in the next 10 minutes or so. I'm with the Klingons on temporal dilemmas, but not a good thing. Now we'll be managing in the meantime to slot in a few shorter trips, and at the beginning of September I went to Norfolk to do some camping around the Norfolk Broads rather than boating, which I did in 2022. A sneak preview for you of that visit, as well as some more images from the library. After that I'll tell you about what's coming up on the channel, as well as any other news. Welcome to Ludham Bridge. So had I turned up earlier, there might well have been something. Quite dramatic though. They're incredibly beautiful, but don't actually lead anywhere. Interesting church back there in the village, and that's where I'll be staying for this visit. But I gather from some of the signs around the building that the gate didn't look big enough to get the bike through. So the plaque says that the cone-shaped structure in the centre there is not so well stocked when it comes to gluten-free menu. But then you can tell as much by reading the sign. I find that difficult to do when I've got an engine to help, but this is what I've come to see. Walking in the rain, and after a few days of hot sticky weather, time permitting, bunny rabbit. I could be wrong. No surprise for Norfolk. Don't see that every day. colours of September in Norfolk seem a very long way away from a cold grey day in October on the concrete coast. My walk today will take me along the Birchington Parade towards Epple Bay. I've chosen it deliberately. I could not think of a more minimal stretch of concrete coast than this. It's a location amongst many which featured in season 1 of the Concrete Coast. Brought to you from the Isle of Thanet. And the Isle of Thanet has been my home for the last 10 years. And after 10 years, it's time to move on. The exact departure date will be in the next month or so, so I need to record this a little bit in advance, being the 1st of October. And the planned release date for this film, I think, will be the 14th of October. And I suspect they may be rather busy during that period. Coming up on the channel after this update will firstly be a film from Knaresborough. There's a stopover on the way back from Scotland, and it's also the place where my last e-bike broke down. So instead of exploring the area by bike, I paid a visit to the Nid Gorge on foot. After that, there'll be 2 films from the Peak District. Chatsworth, and an epic day out on the old Mamtor Road, where the conditions were unforgettable. If you like minimal, moody scenery. Turning to the subject of the concrete coast and the Isle of Thanet, I actually have an unfinished episode from season 1. The stormy weather we can have around here was very much a feature of that episode. Unfortunately, it meant some problems with sound. Early in my career on YouTube, I was having great difficulty making that into a finished item. Now, with a bit more experience and some time on my hands, I might be able to finish that particular aspect of the project and bring it to you as a farewell to the Isle of Thanet, even though it's not quite farewell yet. If I can bring you that in December, along with my end of year presentation of still photography, that might make up for not being able to get out quite so much at the moment. And here we are, arrived at Epple Bay. Good to see Thanet District Council caring for the concrete coast. It does need regular maintenance and cleaning up. This has been a channel update for October-November 2024. I'm not quite sure when the next one will be. I may have to build it into one of the other films I've got planned for December. going to leave you with some memories of the Isle of Thanet, particularly the coastline. Mostly taken this year, quite recently, but also a few from the past. I have been your avuncular host. Thanks for watching. Is that to keep them in or us out? Oh, I'm going to miss the concrete coast.